Good morning. Welcome to Village in Motion. Today is Wednesday, December 6th, 2017. I'm your host for the day, Susan Gerhard, and we have a twofer for you today. Two wonderful bunches of information from our guest, Chef Michael Ritt, from Dining Services, and dietitian Mary Smith.
Yeah, good to be back.
Good morning. Glad to have you.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Let's start with Michael.
Sure.
Let's get going.
We've got a few things we want to go over. Just we want to talk about last week Friday. Both Mary and myself conducted a My Nutrition class, and even though we had about 21, 22 people signed up, we had a full room. We had to bring chairs in. We had about 30 plus people in there.
So we have a lot of residents who want to learn more about healthy eating.
Healthy eating and just the program that I think the word's out there that we have a great program that is only connected with Erickson Living Communities called My Nutrition. And it's a really good program, and throughout the year, both Mary and myself will be conducting these classes, and it's a great way to, I guess, learn more information about the foods that we are providing, the nutritional information. There's filters on there for the allergens, how to plan your meal. It'll give you the information on the daily meal that you're having. So it's a really great system to utilize.
And this is a computer program, very easy to use.
On your iPad, iPhone, people were using it right in the class.
People were pulling it up.
So,
and if you don't know how to use it yet, look for other future classes.
And I always tell people, reach out to myself. You know, I've had a few residents come in quick 20 minutes. I can run through the program, and Mary designed a brand new pamphlet brochure that we have.
Wonderful.
That's user-friendly. That'll run you through and guide you through the program. And then if you have certain information that you're seeking, we can help you with that.
Excellent.
And then around Thanksgiving, the dining service team teamed up with our security team, and we provided meals for a Thanksgiving full-blown meal we're talking soup to nuts, for the Franconia Fire Department and the Fairfax County Police Station. We do this every year. We team up with security. I think it's, I say it's a way to give a little to those who give a lot.
We have a picture on the screen. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and they really enjoyed it, and we got a lot of feedback. And, these ladies and gentlemen, they're giving their time, not just on the holidays, but all the time. And like I said, it's a way to give a little to those who give a lot. So. And I think it's an important thing. We get a lot of support from both those departments here, not just, at Green Spring, but in the community. And it's always good to reach out to the community and help out a little.
That's wonderful to know about. Thank you for doing that.
No, it's a team effort. Everybody helps out. The dining team, Ben and his team, security, they help with the logistics and setting it up and all that. So,
that's great to know about.
Yeah. And obviously right now we have our bake sale going on. Please stop by the stores. You have to stop by. You cannot call in. And pretty much similar to what we've done last year.
So this is pre-order. This is where I can go and order something beautiful, and I can pick it up at a future date.
Right.
So when I'm going to my friend Mary's house, and I can pick up this beautiful baked good at a later date, and put it on my plate and make it look like I baked it. And when I take it to her house, I can say, here's this wonderful baked good to include in your meal.
Correct. It's going, and the information is, it's running through the 18th of December.
The 18th of December.
And pickup will be the 22nd, which is Friday right before Christmas. So if you're going away, you pick it up Friday, you go where you're going, and you come and look at this beautiful Yule log I made for you all, and no one knows the difference.
There you go. Sounds ideal. And I can charge this to my resident charge, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Couldn't be easier.
We had a town hall. We're having a couple town halls coming up. We have a town hall December 19th for Fireside and the Potomac Cafe. And then we are having a mix and mingle for the executive team on the 15th of December. Just a chance to come meet the executive team, and we'll have some food and fun down there for everybody.
Free food, free drink, meet the executives.
Exactly.
Sounds good. And on the 16th, I see we have modified hours of operation because the staff is going to have a party.
Exactly. This is our annual staff party, and we always like to close an hour early. This gives the people who work the dinner shift an opportunity to, finish the shift, get home, get ready, get dressed up, and come to the party. So
we can eat a little earlier so you all can have a wonderful evening.
one time during the year. And
Not
then
too much.
and then obviously for Christmas and New Year's Day, we have our modified hours of operation, and those will be posted. But the information on that is Jefferson Woodland Skies Fireside, dine-in 11 to 2. Woodland Skies will have no lunch service. Carryout will be from 11 to 1:30 for Woodland Skies and Jefferson only. Potomac Cafe will be carryout only from 11 to 1:30. The bistro will be closed, and the Cardinal Shop and Village Market are closed, but the country store is open, limited from 10 to 2 with no delivery service.
And those signs are already
And
posted.
all these signs will be posted, all this information will be posted.
Okay. Now, this is a call-in show, and on our screen, we have our numbers posted, 703-663-3333. We welcome your calls, but we would like our calls today to be focused on healthy eating for the holidays.
Absolutely. And
that's why our
that's
friend
why
Mary
we're
is here
going to
today.
turn over to Mary.
Mary Smith is our newest dietitian on the staff.
Yes, I'm glad to be here. Happy to be back with you.
Mary, let's talk about healthy eating.
Yes,
The
okay.
the holidays can be a challenge.
Yes, it's the most wonderful time of the year, but it's also the time of the year where it's like the eating Olympics between Thanksgiving and New Year's. Then we hit New Year's and everyone's like, restriction, I don't want to eat anymore, I've got to lose weight. So instead of going to that extreme, I want to talk about 3 strategies to being more mindful and not having to go to that complete restriction or complete overindulgence. So I've come up with 3 little things I wanted to discuss in the show.
Okay.
The first one is creating a balanced plate. So I brought some examples. So what I want to show first is this is typically what the average American will do.
So this is my plate.
This is typically what a normal person is doing is you'll have a carb, a protein, and then a vegetable maybe sometimes. And then in restaurants now, they'll just do half and half where you just have like a carb and a protein and we forget our vegetable.
So a carb would be something that some people would call a starch.
Yes, a starch, so rice, bread, potatoes, things like that. And then your protein being your legumes or meat or fish even. So this is what people are currently doing, or like even sometimes in restaurants, completely in half. And what this does is we're minimizing the amount of vegetables we're getting and we're increasing the amount of starches or protein that may be too much for our body. So I created a different image I wanted to show our residents. This is what my plate should kind of look like to be better proportions for our body and to fuel it more correctly. So you want half of your plate to be the vegetables and the fruit, so right here. You want a quarter of your plate to be the protein, so your beans, fish, or meat, and then another quarter of the plate to be your carb, so maybe that's a dinner roll, some rice, potatoes. And a great way to kind of know that based off of your body size without getting a specific number is use your fist.
Okay.
Yeah, so everyone's fist is going to look a little different because we're all different sizes. So mine is going to be a little smaller than Michael's. So Michael will need a fist size of meat, like a palm size. Well, I will need a smaller palm size of protein. And so that's also another really interesting and quick tool.
Good to know.
Yeah.
To measure how much you should be eating. And then you just, you don't want to like grab it with your hand, but you can eyeball it pretty quickly, and then, if someone else is serving you even, and so it's already on your plate, just, put your hand next to it and be like, okay, this is how much I'm going to eat. So very handy, literally handy, huh? No pun intended.
That's good. That's a good way to remember it, though.
And so, yeah, that's a really great balanced plate idea. And the other one is just focus on color. Look for those colorful foods and make it a goal for yourself to create the most beautiful plate that you can. And so that can also be a fun game of how colorful can you make your plate, how divided and organized.
And there's another rule, too, that says that there is no rule that says that you have to eat everything on your plate.
Absolutely, which brings me to my next point, which is eating slower during the holidays. And this is actually a good tip year-round. I know I've labeled this as holiday eating, but these are great tips all the time. So eating slowly and eating your vegetables first. So nutrition research is showing that it can take up to 20 minutes for our stomach to signal that it's full. So if we're eating really quickly and we eat, we do eat really fast, our brain doesn't have time to say, hey, we're full, let's slow down a little bit, or maybe let's not go back for that second plate. But if we eat slower, we're allowed to be like, oh, okay, I'm full, I'm done. So we can think about, do I need that second plate? Do I want that second serving? And then along with those 20 minutes, you can be like, your body will tell you if it's full, but then you can be like, I also don't even have to eat that second plate. So, you know, if you're at a holiday party and a guest's like, oh, have my special pecan pie, I made it just for you. Like, you can say, oh, like, can I take it home? Can I have it like as a leftover? Because I'm full right now. So you definitely always have the right to say, I'm full, thank you.
You know, this past Thanksgiving, we ate with another couple at their house,
Yeah.
and as usual, this lady made enough food for 42 people, and there were 4 of us.
Yes.
Massive amounts of food. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to take like a couple of spoonfuls of each one instead
Yeah.
of piling my plate like this, like I normally do. And that's how much I ate. And I ate a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, I didn't stuff myself as usual, and yet I felt comfortably full, and she was happy because I tasted everything. And it was kind of like, you know, I can do this. I don't have to eat mounds of
Yes,
everything.
yes,
It was just, you
absolutely.
know, and I still was polite about it, but it was a good lesson to myself that
Yeah.
I didn't have to have as much stuffing as I would have liked to have had, and yet I was comfortable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what I love about that is you didn't deny yourself. So that's
Right.
another huge thing coming up in nutrition research, especially for women, is that if we restrict ourselves, it shows that we're going to hit a breaking point and we're going to overindulge. So it's better to have like little tastes of everything and don't like giving yourself grace to enjoy the holidays, enjoy dessert. Because when you restrict, at some point you're going to be like, well, I'm tired of not eating the things I enjoy, and you go overboard with it.
Right.
So, you know, allowing yourself to taste what's on the table is a really important
And I
thing
think
as
we
well.
always say everything is good in moderation.
Absolutely.
And
And take time and enjoy the flavor.
Right, and like you said, there's no problem with, well, let me take a little for tomorrow or for later today. And, you know, you were saying, you know, everybody's like, oh, try this, try that, try this. And, you know, I think going, you know, less more often, you know, taking the smaller portions, eating in moderation, taking your time. You know, and these are things, and I agree with Mary, that not just during the holidays, we should practice year round.
That's true.
You know, I know, you know, you may come into one of the venues and they may have a buffet and you're like, for the holidays, oh, look at all this food. And I'm like, well, you know, in moderation, you know.
It's
And,
not like we are still college kids going, it's a buffet.
Yeah.
Let's eat it all.
Correct.
Yes.
You know,
We just need to say a little bit at a time.
Absolutely. And yeah, which kind of leads me to my next point, actually. The
Yes.
third strategy, also something that's great year-round, is just being mindful at your meals. So I always like to say, listen to your body, listen to the hunger cues, because your body knows when it needs the fuel. So if you're hungry, allow yourself to eat. Don't go into that restriction. You know, if you're not hungry, but it's dinner time, you know, have a smaller plate, maybe have a salad first, and you don't have to force yourself to eat just because everyone else is. But an important note with that, especially with people who have medical conditions, is pay attention to when you need to eat with your medicine, and don't forget to eat, because I know a lot of times around the holidays, our meal times can switch. So Thanksgiving is typically, our meal is in the middle of like late afternoon sometimes, and we may
Yes.
be used to having dinner later. So just paying attention and being mindful to what time your medicine calls you to eat at. But then also listening to your body, so you don't have to eat just because everyone else is eating.
And especially for, there are many conditions, but especially for diabetics, it's important
yes.
for diabetics to eat at a
Absolutely.
regular time, and I'm sure for other medical conditions too. If you're with other people over the holidays, don't stop your regular schedule.
correct.
Absolutely.
You know, there's a lot of distractions going on. There may be the grandkids are in, or, you know, the whole family's there, and you may lose track of time, or you're playing with your grandkids, or your kids are in town, or, you know, you're doing all this. But like you said, it's very important that, like you said, be mindful of, you know, you still have your medication to take, be aware of the time, and make sure that you're staying on program.
Right. And don't feel, if you're in someone else's home, don't feel like you're going to be impolite to say, you know, I need a little bit of food to eat with this.
absolutely.
Or I'm sorry, but I need a snack now.
Absolutely.
You know, even if it's just a little bread or fruit or something to go along with it.
Because
Keep
there's-
yourself healthy.
Yeah, there's so many medicines out there that if you don't take it with food, you get nauseous, and then
Correct.
you can't enjoy your meal.
Right.
So just paying attention, being mindful to what you personally need to be doing during the holidays
Yes,
or eating
because you
wise.
need to maintain your health in order to enjoy being around your family.
Absolutely.
And also, you know, don't feel bad if you tell someone because of a certain medication you're taking, I can't eat this or I can't have
Very good
that.
point.
And don't, people will understand that, well, why isn't grandma eating my spinach? Well, I can't have, because of maybe I'm taking a medication that I can't have certain greens or, certain items that,
Don't be afraid to say that.
Right, and let people know.
No one's going to judge.
You're not trying to insult anyone that you don't want their food. You just, for physical conditioning,
Right.
I can't have it.
And even if you're talking to a young child, you can say, "I'm sorry, this will make me sick if I eat this." And a
Yeah.
young
And
child's
they'll
gonna
understand,
that.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Right.
So I do have, this is actually my favorite strategy for being mindful though.
Okay,
and I
what's
get
that?
the best feedback on this and I practice it and it's really good. So when you're eating, no matter what you're eating, try to think of 3 adjectives to describe what you're eating about its taste. So you can say crunchy, salty, dry. And what happens when we do this is we'll start to recognize, man, I'm not enjoying this as much as I want to. Let me switch to my other foods. And then you don't eat as much of that one. Or you decide, I really like this one. This is what I want seconds of, not this other thing. But what it does is we're paying more attention to our food. We're bringing more enjoyment to it. But then we're also giving ourselves time to be present and aware of what we're putting in our body. And so naming those 3 adjectives, it's a fun game to do.
Now, the 3 adjectives are?
So any 3 adjectives.
Any 3.
adjectives.
So yeah,
If
so
something's like crunchy or salty
Yeah,
or
so
soft or
okay.
you have
smooth
to
or
challenge yourself to think of how would I describe this to myself or to somebody else
While
right now
I'm eating it. In
while
other
you're
words,
eating
instead
it.
of just
And
mindlessly shoveling it in.
Absolutely, and so you have to take time to be like, oh, this is really salty, and I would prefer it to not be, or this needs more salt. Let me go get some, and you're just being more aware and more present during your meal.
In other words, slow down.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. that
enjoy
help
the
you
food.
enjoy the
Take your
food.
time.
Concept.
It's not a
Yeah.
race. You're not going to get a prize at the end of eating,
Well, I've talked with other people who are like me. In my case, when I was in high school, we had 20 minutes from the time we left one class to the time we went to the next
Yes.
class to eat our lunch. And I have never slowed down my eating
Yeah.
speed since then. And there are many people like that. And there are a lot of us who need to learn to slow down and taste our food.
So naming, thinking of how you would describe that would actually help with your pace. So that's
Right.
something I've started doing. That's something that a lot of the clients that I counsel start doing as well.
That's a very good bit of
Yeah.
advice.
I think everything what we're talking about is slow down, enjoy the holidays, enjoy your
Yeah.
meals,
And another piece of it here is to bring in the social aspect. You're not going to eat as fast if you stop and talk to the person next to you or the person across the table from you. That food's still going to be there. Nobody's going to take it away from
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
And sit down and visit. That's why you're
Be
there.
present.
and a lot of times it's with people that you haven't seen for a while.
That's right.
I just had Thanksgiving, to make it a little personable, with both my boys, and you and I know,
Yeah, one of them.
are in the Navy and one's overseas, and this was the first time in 3 years that they're actually both home for Thanksgiving. So it was a nice time. And you say that, we were just taking it easy. No one was in a race. It was like, what's going on? And our food was in front of us for probably almost an hour. But no one was pushing us to eat. And I think times like that, enjoy the time with your friends and family. Like you said, food's not going anywhere.
It's not about the food, it's about the family.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's important. One other thing I want to talk about, Mary, and that is for people with their medical problems and food during the holidays or any other time, the importance of getting good advice about what to eat.
Yes.
And it's especially important during the holidays, but we have many different medical conditions among our resident population here at
Yes.
Green Spring. And many people, I think, are not getting good advice about what to eat. They go to the doctor and the doctor says, well, you have type 2 diabetes. You just watch those carbohydrates.
Yes.
Well, what does that mean? Watch them as they go into my mouth?
No, yeah.
And then they'll well, I heard maybe you, my friend, maybe you're diabetic. Can you tell me what you do?
Oh.
And they're getting bad advice. Can they come to you? Can they make an appointment to see you?
Absolutely. That's something that I'm going to start doing more in 2018, which is offering nutrition counseling. And it's an individual one-on-one basis because something I mentioned a lot during My Nutrition classes, Michael and I's needs for food completely different. So the resident you're sitting next to at your mealtime, if they're giving you food advice, their needs are completely different than you. Your medication may be completely different as well. So that one-on-one advice and then creating a meal meal plan together can be really beneficial. And so
And there is a charge.
there's a charge, so it's $60 for 1 hour of one-on-one time, and then follow-ups as needed or as wanted by the resident. I have a few coming up this week that I'm really excited to go see. So we're already kickstarting that
But
program.
it's so much better for your health.
Absolutely. Everyone's health needs are so different, and also everyone's education level. Some people want to know the nitty-gritty of the physiology happening in my body, where some people just tell me what I can and can't eat and when. And I can provide both of those. And so it's like, how much in-depth do you want? What's going to make your life the easiest? And that is just such a huge benefit of individual one-on-one nutrition counseling.
Because what's good for one person may not be good for another. As I was doing a little research for our talk here this morning, I was just reading one thing that was talking about people getting kidney dialysis. And I realized that a lot of fluids are not good for that person. But then I was meeting with a lady yesterday who has a huge problem with dehydration. So she needs a lot of
Completely
fluids.
different.
So you talk to one person and said, well, drinking a lot of water is good. Well, not for that dialysis patient, it's not.
Absolutely.
So it's really important that people who have medical problems related to their diet do get good, solid information.
Absolutely.
And as I've said to many people, there is no expert on this campus whose name is somebody. Don't you hear that? Well, somebody told me.
Who?
There's
And
no
I
expert
agree
on
with you
this.
that
Good point.
we're all so different. You know, I think seeking out that professional, seeking out that person who has the knowledge. You know, you're not going to go to your tailor for medical advice, and you're not going to have your doctor make you a suit. So
That's
I
right.
think, you know, you have to look at it that way. Here we have on-campus professionals who that's their training, that's their education. You know, people always ask me, what should I eat? I said, I'm a chef, I'm not a nutritionist,
That's
I'm not a dietitian. I can tell you a little something, but if you really want the nuts and bolts, we have the professionals here, and I always advise to seek out our dietitians. We have 3 dietitians here on campus. And I think in 2018, you're gonna see them more on the IL side, a physical presence of them. I think they're gonna do some tabling in the dining rooms
good.
and
Hoping so.
things like that. You know, I think the My Nutrition class was a huge, you know, program that we did, and yes, we've been doing the class for the years, but I think bringing Mary in is just adding that extra piece that now it's like, look, you got the culinary side and you got the nutritional side.
Let's
So
put
we're
it all
both
together.
here to answer your questions. And I think a lot of residents, you know, they had their concerns and questions and all that, but I think at the end of the day, you know, Mary had us like a small entourage around her, you know,
That's so
afterward.
Popular.
But it was great.
That's good.
It was great. It's
Because
like,
that tells us that our residents are interested in eating healthy.
Absolutely.
And we have wonderful food here at Green Spring. Our wonderful menus put together by Chef Michael and his team can meet everyone's dietary needs, but what we need is the education to know how to choose from our menus in our various dining venues in order to keep ourselves healthy. And it's up to us to make the right choices with your guidance.
Absolutely.
And another thing that we do, you know, we don't announce this, is that we send our menus over to Mary and Cindy and Helen, and they review them and get back with our notes. Hey, this is a good menu. Maybe you might want to do this, might want to do that. And we send them, we'll send them Woodland and Fireside, and then we'll send this one, and then we'll send, we're not going to, just load up on them with 5 menus. Here you go. We're going to give them, here's the menu for the next 30 days in Woodland Skies. Here's the menu for the next 30 days in Fireside. Here's the 4-week cycle for Jefferson. What do you think? What are your suggestions? What are your ideas? Because, as a team, that's what we want to do. We want to, we hear what the residents, we always talk about, oh, you don't listen to us. Yes, we do. The My Nutrition class is a perfect example. Us reaching out to the dietitians is a perfect example. We're going to make adjustments to the menu. Now, understand when you go into certain seasons, you're restricted on what you can and can't do, but we're going to do the best in our ability to provide you with what you want.
And as residents have questions and comments, remember the comment cards on your tables?
Absolutely.
Put those comments in because they're going to, if they're relative to the menus, they're going to end up with the chefs and with Chef Michael.
And they'll go through the GMs, and there's a report that every venue gets every month on the comment cards, and it's a spreadsheet that they get that we review. We have town halls, we have the resident dining council, we have the big town halls, the individual town halls, we have the individual resident council meetings with the venues. You know, we have the call-in show, we have the classes. If you see us walking through, you know, the community, I always tell people, I don't know what I don't know. So if you have a question, no question, my father said, there's no such thing as stupid questions.
That's right.
You know?
Ask those questions.
And just ask. And if I don't know, I'll
You're gonna
find
find
out.
out.
And I always tell people, email me, email, Mary. That's the best way of getting in touch with us, because you'll see, hey, can you, da-da-da, and we may write it down, but if we have an email coming in, we'll see it in front of us. It'll give us, okay, I have to look up this information. Maybe there's some information that in My Nutrition, I get emails now and then. My nutrition is saying this, can you double check it? Sure. And like I said about My Nutrition, we said this at the demo, that remember, it's a program that was designed by humans. So there is no perfect program in the world. You and I have had many talks about
That's
this.
right.
Not just a My Nutrition program, but any kind of program. There are going to be issues and incorrect information. And when we come upon that, it's not a gotcha point. It's not an aha, got you. It's, hey, thank you for the information.
This is where
We're
we
going to
work to-
research it,
Yeah.
and this is exactly
Right.
where we work to make it better.
Right. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining
No
us this
problem.
morning.
So good.
Any final words, Mary?
No, I think we covered it pretty
We're ready
well.
to eat healthy for the
Yes.
holidays. And as people are preparing for the holidays, if they have questions, they can contact you. And be
Absolutely.
ready to eat healthy.
Yes.
That's good. It's not only about amount, but it's about maintaining our good health as we
Being
move into
present.
the holiday season. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us.